Jungle.
Good day everyone, my name is Kevin Serio, a BSN 2 student at Mount Carmel College of Kasiguran. My report is creating a positive school culture, meaning of school culture and culture as a social construct. In the following topics, social climate and school culture, the role of school culture in learning, the elements of positive school culture, shared norms, teacher and students' norms will be reported by my partner, Jake Polasala. School culture matters. This influences a great extent how all students perform. School culture is a creation of all people in school and the community, especially that of the school heads. It can positive or negative. It can facilitate or adversely affect learning. A school community must therefore strive to create positive culture. There are 12 norms of school culture where people and programs improve. These are appreciation, recognition, experimentation, caring, celebration, humor, high expectation, involvement in decision making, trust and confidence, protection of what is important, tangible support, tradition, base reaching out to the knowledge, honest open communication, and collegiality. Appreciation, recognition. Appreciation has more to do with feelings and expression, while recognition is calling specific attention to something special or well done. The key is to seeing that both are valuable in their own right and understanding that both are necessities to create a workplace culture that keeps employees and students loyal and engaged. Experimentation. A procedure carried out under controlled conditions in order to discover an unknown effect or law, to test or establish a hypothesis, or to illustrate a known law. Caring, celebration, humor. These three are essential to build a positive school culture. When your school has a positive culture, teachers are excited to work because they see the bigger picture and students are in the better position. High expectation. Having high expectation means believing students should always strive to achieve their best. Raising expectation is not about being strict or micromanage. It's quite the opposite. By raising your expectations, students will work hard, whether you're watching them or not. Involvement in decision making. The goal of school-based decision making is to empower school staff by providing authority, flexibility, and resources to solve the education problems particular to their school. And students must be involved in decision making by involving students directly in an existing adult activities such as a special task force, school site council, or instructional leadership team, and set up an activity just for students. Trust and confidence. Confidence and trust are essential components of civil societies and social organizations. These two concepts also are very important in effective school. According to the American Psychological Association, teachers who foster positive relationship with their students create classroom environments more conducive to learning and meet students' developmental, emotional, and academic needs. In addition, this makes students feel a strong personal connection to their teacher. Tangible support are also essential, such as support for school personnel or those that would help them to more effectively work with the student. This could include, for example, special training for a student teacher. The support for school personnel are those that are needed to meet the unique and specific needs of the student. School traditions are powerful means to both create and perpetuate school culture. They can help distinguish your community from others and imprint students for years to come. School leaders are well served to shape tradition that not only energize students but also reinforce their best selves. Together, this shared knowledge and a teacher's practical knowledge of routines, procedures, and process in actual education situations constitute the knowledge base for teaching. Open and honest communication leads more quickly to a mutual understanding and respect for difference in views, interests, and needs, where forgiveness or an apology is sought. Being open and honest builds a sense of self-worth. Collegiality. It stimulates enthusiasm among teachers and reduces emotional stress and burnout. It also creates a sense of belonging among organizational members and makes the band more cohesive. It makes teachers more committed to their organization. The meaning of school culture. School culture is one of the most complex and important concepts in education. It is generally refers to the beliefs, perceptions, relationship, attitude, and written and unwritten rules that shapes and influence every aspect of how school functions. However, the term also encompasses more concrete issues such as the physical and emotional safety of students, the orderliness of classroom and public space or degree to which a school embraces racial, ethnic, linguistic, and cultural diversity. According to Spacey, school culture consists of the norms and shared experience that evolve over school's history. In fact, Scott and Marzano 2014 state that school culture is reinforced by norms, expectations, and traditions, including everything from dress codes to discipline system to celebrations and of achievements. Therefore, it may be described as the character of school that gives a school qualities beyond its structures, resources, and practices. They are built through the everyday business of a school life. It is the way business is handled that both forms and reflects the culture. Culture as a social construct. Culture is a social construct, not a genetic construct. This means that school culture is therefore something that we do not inherit or pass on through the genes. Rather, it is something that we create and shape. It is shaped by everything that all people in school see, hear, feel, and interact with. It is a creation of the school head. Sean Slade elaborates within a couple of minutes of walking into a school or a classroom. You can tell, define, taste the culture that permeates that space. It is an open, sharing environment, or it is a rigid, discipline-defined playing field environment. If it is safe and welcome, or intimidating and confronting, does it welcome all voices, or does it make you want to shrink? It is waiting for instruction and leadership, or it is self-directed with a common purpose.
Now, let's talk about school climate and school culture. While school climate and culture have been defined in a number of ways, and at times are used interchangeably, there are two distinct terms which overlap and influence one another. Think of school climate as the attitude and school culture as personality. So, one drives and determines the other. So, what is school climate? School climate is the feel of the school or the school's attitude, the behaviors and points of view exhibited and experienced by teachers, and other stakeholders. Rayberg and Stein in 1999 described school climate as the heart and soul of the school. The feeling that either encourages teachers and students to engage, love the school, and to want to be a part of it, or to reject the school and disengage from it. It is the outcome of school norms and values, the way in which people at the school relate and interact with one another, and the way system and policies manifest. According to the National School Climate Center, the school climate includes spheres of school life such as safety, relationships, teaching and learning, and the environment, as well as larger organizational patterns. Example, from fragmented to shared, healthy or unhealthy. These dimensions not only shape how students feel about being in school, but these larger group trends shape learning and student development. So it was stated by National School Climate Center on 2013. So now, let's proceed to the next topic, which is the school culture. School culture is the way weighting are done in school, the personality of school, rather. The underlying norms and values that shape patterns of behavior, attitudes, and expectations between stakeholders in school. Steele and Peterson in 1998 defined school culture as norms, values, beliefs, traditions, and rituals built up with time. A school's culture is always at work, either helping or hindering learning. It influences every decision and action in a school. from leadership style of a principal to the ways teachers choose curriculum materials and interact with students. So, why are school climate and school culture important? Positive and healthy school cultures and school climates are the foundations of high-quality learning environments and create the conditions for effective teaching and learning to occur. According to Dufour and Eker in 1998, the reform efforts of last 30 years have failed to improve student achievement in school because they failed to adequately address the importance of school culture and school climates in school. Culture in learning. A school that is able to develop and maintain a positive shared culture knows what aspects of the culture are important in developing an effective learning environment. It is consciously transmit these values to its students. Through collective awareness and action, culture can be used positively in order to enhance student learning and achievement, whether through small actions such as celebrating achievements in public events or to more large-scale projects such as developing democratic processes for teachers, students, and other stakeholders to contribution curriculum reform. A positive school culture can be defined broadly to include the social climate, including a safe and caring environment in which all students feel welcomed and valued and have a sense of ownership of their school. This helps students in their moral development. Next is intellectual climate, in which all students in every room are supported and challenged to do their very best and achieve work of quality. This includes a rich, rigorous, and engaging curriculum and powerful pedagogy for teaching it. Rules and policies that hold all policy of school. While it appears to be constant, culture is a dynamic space that is influenced by laws, policies, changes of leadership. Therefore, requires school leaders to be aware of what influence or changes aspects of school culture, whether deliberately or not, and ensuring that the culture for learning and achievement are never put at risk. Research demonstrates that school leaders have a critical role in ensuring that the culture supports student achievement. McNeil stated that a leader must identify school existing culture before attempting to change it. The rules and policies that hold all school members accountable to high standards of learning and behavior. Traditions and routines built from shared values that honor and reinforce the school's academic and social standards. Structures for giving staff and students a voice in and shared responsibility for solving problems and making decisions that affect the school environment and their common life. Effectively working with parents to support students' learning and character growth, norms for relationship and behaviors that create a professional culture or excellence and ethical practices. The term school culture generally refers to the beliefs, perceptions, relationships, attitudes, and written and unwritten rules that shape, influence every aspect of how school functions. But the term also encompasses more concrete issues such as the physical and emotional safety of students, the orderliness of classrooms and public spaces, or the degree to which a school embraces and celebrates racial, ethnic, linguistic, or cultural diversity. Like the larger social culture, school culture results from both conscious and unconscious perspective, values, interactions, and practices. It is heavily shaped by a school's particular institutional history. Students, parents, teachers, administrators, and other staff members all contribute to their school's culture, as do other influences such as the community in which the school is located, the policies that govern how it operates, or the principles upon which the school was founded. Generally speaking, school cultures can be divided into two basic forms, positive cultures and negative cultures. Numerous researchers, educators, and writers have attempted to define the major features of positive and negative cultures. And
Elements of positive school culture. First, collegiality. The school atmosphere is friendly. You work in an atmosphere where responsibility and authority are shared by everyone. You can be yourself. You have not to put your best forward to impress others. The school head does not throw his or her weight. He or she does not make his or her authority felt by her colleagues. The second is experimentation. The atmosphere encourages experimentation, and so will welcome mistakes as part of learning process. No student, no teachers can get punished for a mistake. Mistakes are not intended. They give a lot of lesson, referring to his 10,000 failed attempts, then he was experimenting in the light bulb. Edison said, "I have not failed, I've just found 10,000 ways that won't work." Third is a high expectations. It has been said, one level of achievement is always lower than one's level that aspiration. So set high expectation for high achievement. Two problems arise. Here, Robert J. Marzano warns us, first, expectations are subtle and difficult to change. Teachers may be unaware that they have low expectation for some students. Even when they become aware, they may have difficulty changing their expectation because their beliefs and biases have developed over the years. Second, what actually communicates expectations to students is teachers' behavior. If teachers consciously work to change their biases but don't change their behavior toward those students from whom they have tended to expect less, the change of attitude will have little effect on student achievement. Number 4. Trust and confidence. Students, teachers, school heads, and parents relate well work when relationships are solidly built on trust and confidence. In fact, honest and open communication is possible only when there is trust and confidence in each other in the school or community. I can share my inner thoughts only when I am confident that I do not ostracize when I do. Fifth, tangible support. Everyone in the school community gets concrete support for the good that they do. Support comes in not just in words but in action. The school head sees to it that LCDs in the classrooms are functioning. Sixth, reaching out to the knowledge base. Teachers cares growth professionally to update themselves in content knowledge and pedagogy, the first domain in the Philippine professional standards for teacher. And appreciation and recognition. Certainly, words of appreciation and recognition make classroom climate highly favorable. A reminder to our teachers, you are not made less when you praise others. Instead, you become magnanimous, so don't be stingy with your sincere praise. The problem sometimes in our eyes are so quick to see the negative, and so we despise them immediately, but our eyes are blinded to the good, and so we overlook them, fail to appreciate. 8. Caring celebration humor. Kids don't care what you will until they know that you care. They don't listen to teacher when teacher doesn't care. It may be good to remind teachers that many of students, especially those who struggle, don't receive nearly enough positive feedback in the classroom or in their personal lives. When kids are taught with a proactive, praise-heavy approach, they tend to do better. Erin Green says, the specific generic overlay generalized comments such as "good job" don't really help. Complimenting a specific behavior, "thanks for showing respect to our visiting guest," on the other hand, reinforces that particular behavior. Involvement in decision making. Involving others who are concerned with decisions to be made enhances sense of ownership, they also feel important. 10. Traditions. A school must an intentional culture-based program on shared values, beliefs, and behaviors. This strengthens sense of community. A truly positive school culture is not characterized simply by the absence of gangs, violence, or discipline problems, but also the presence of sets of norms and values that focus schools' community's attention on what most important and motivate them to work hard toward a common purpose. The 12th and the last, honest and open communication. No one gets ostracized for speaking up his mind. The atmosphere is such that everyone is encouraged to speak his mind without fear or being ostracized. The agreement at every discussion is agree to disagree. Now let's proceed to shared norms. Teacher and student norms. Shared norms for both teachers and students contribute a positive school culture. Boss and Larmer in 2018, shared teacher norm and student norms contribute to a fair and engaging learning environment. A characteristic of a positive school culture, they check on following norms each week.
And that's all, everyone. Thank you for watching our video presentation. Reporters, Kevin S. Sorial and Jake Paul T. Lazala. Disclaimer: no copyright infringement intended in the music and pictures that used in this video.